Hey everyone, and welcome to our morning math number 100. You made it through 100 warm-ups. So let's get started today with number 100 by putting your name in the box. Next we have mixed facts, which is addition and subtraction. Then we have an addition problem, which is more like a subtraction problem. Then draw a model, but we're just dividing. We're not really going to draw a model because we can't. Geometry, parallel lines and perpendicular lines. We'll talk about those. Then we have measurement and our challenge problem, 6 plus 8. 14 minus 8. 12 minus 8. 8 plus 4. 17 minus 8. 7 plus 8. 4 plus 8. 13 minus 8. All right, so now finding the missing number. Now yesterday or Friday or I don't know, last week, we learned that when you have an equal sign with a number on both sides, you have to do what's called the inverse operation to solve. So in this case, we would be adding something to 199 to get 300. In this case, we have to subtract 199 from 300 to know what's missing, unless if you could do this in your head. So let's talk about it. How close is 199 to 200? It's only 1 away. So if you added 1 to this, then you would get 200. If you were at 200, how close are you to 300? You're 100. So you know you're 101 away from 300, which means your answer is 101. 101. Now we have, what are these lines? These lines are what we call parallel lines. Now looking back up at the box, it says parallel, P-A-R-A-L-L-E-L. Parallel lines never touch. So these are called parallel lines. P-A-R-E-L-L-E-L. Parallel. It's like having a brain fart there. There you go. Parallel. P-A-R-A-L-L-E-L. Next, you have lines that cross. Lines that cross are called perpendicular. The perpendicular lines, they are lines that form a right angle, so they are lines that are perfectly crossed. So that is a perpendicular line, and that's P-E-R-P-E-N-D-I-C-U-L-A-R. P-E-R-P-E-N-D-I-C-U-L-A-R. Perpendicular. And that brings us down to Dana. Dana loves to read books. She can read 8 books in 3 months. So let's write it out. 8 books in 3 months. Well, in 3 months. In 3 months. How many books does she read in 6 months? So we know that she reads 8 books in 3 months. Whoops, months. This is hard without my pen. So 8 books in 3 months. So the question is, how many in 6 months? So if you take notice here, what we're doing is we're creating a table. Now, if you remember, we had the tables before where they would have a number like 1, and then in the bottom section, it would have, let's say, 3. Then this would go to 2, and this would go to 6. And then this would go to 3, and this would go to 9. So an essential idea here is we're making a table just like this, where we have a rule. And the rule here is to multiply. Now, we need to look and see how are we multiplying to know the rule. So we see that 3 turned into 6. So what did you multiply to get from 3 to 6? So 3 times 2 equals 6. So that means, man, I'm like sneezing. Well, that's interesting. Sorry about that. That's why I'm home. So 3 times 2 equals 6, which means that 8 times 2 equals 16. So 16 books. So you need to do the same thing for the rest of this. You need to decide what the rule is. So 8 books in 3 months. What about in 12 months? So 3 times what equals 12? 3 times 4. So 8 times 4 equals how many books? And then this one, 8 books, 3 months. What about in 24 months? So 3 times what equals 24? 3 times 8. So 8 times 8 equals, hopefully you said 64. And that's it. Now you're finished. You're finished with your morning work. Congratulations.